Hi everyone, my name is Abel Grey Katoma. I'm from GREYTEST Design Consults. This is my WhatsApp contact. You can reach me on this number. You can call me on any of these numbers, okay? Today I'm going to be showing you how to actually design a pedestrian bridge using your Protastructure 2022. Okay, like you know, we have covered structural designs, mechanical and electrical service drawings, water drawings, okay, road designs, okay? They are very much available. Down below the description of this video you find a link to that channel. Just go down below the description, okay, visit the channel and make sure you actually keep yourself busy, okay? So let's jump right into it. All right, so as you can see here now, we have this axis which I have created. Like I said, this is the pedestrian bridge I actually want to model here in our Protastructure, and I'll be taking you through that process right away. Okay, as you can see here now what we have, so I'm going to be doing this model right away. So here I have this as 1600, here I have this as 7200, because we are actually going to be having, okay, the number of cars that are actually going to be flying through this road. We are going to be having this one this way and also this way. Okay, so in order for us to achieve this, so what I'm going to do now is to insert my number of stories. Okay, so if you look at this now from this picture, you can see we have we have here where you are actually going to be taking your first flight here, okay, and then we have the first landing here, and then this is the second flight. We have a landing here, then we have the third flight, then we have a landing here. So this is going to be in a story 1, story 2, story 3, and then the fourth story, where we are actually going to be having our handrails. Okay, so let's go through the process right away. Alright, so the first thing here I'm going to do is to insert my number of stories. I'll click on stories and I will click on insert story, and I'm going to make this into 4 different stories, and I will click on yes. Okay, so if I come to my story and I right click and I click on edit story, here now, since this is the first height here, I am going to make it the height of let's say 400. Okay, so if I make it at 400, and then the second height I'm going to make it at 2000 or let's say 1800. okay, and then the third one I'm also going to make it at 1800, and then this one I'm going to make it at a height of 1 meter. Okay, but this is going to be very low. The height will be low, probably because of the kind of vehicles that will be plying under this road. It will be important for me to make this a little bit higher than it is right now. So I will make this let's say 3 meters instead. Okay, I'll make it 3 meters. I will also make this 3 meters. Okay, so that will be 6 meters plus this, which is 6.4. so I think most of the vehicles, but you have to put all of this into consideration before you do your design. You have to put the kind of cars that will be plying through that road. You have to put all those kind of cars into your consideration and all of that. You know, the type of trailers we use, the kind of load they carry, and some of those loads, you know, they are used to be even overloaded, and they are always very you know, with a hip kind of load like that. So in that case, you have to always put all of these things into considerations as well when you want to do a real life project on your design. Okay, so but right now we just want to do something that looks a little bit like it's real, but I just wanted to take you through the process so you can see how you can actually achieve this using the software. Okay, so you can see the total level now is going to be the highest level is at sorry, this should be let me make this 800. Okay, make this 800. So 6,400 I believe is enough for most of the type of cars that will ply this road should be able to pass conveniently. So if that is correct, I'll click on OK. Then I'm going to start playing around with my columns. So this column now, you know, I'm at story 4, so I'm going to go back to my story 1. So at story 1 now, I'm going to insert a column. I'll come to column, and since story 1 is not going very high, I can decide to make this column even a 230 by even 230 size of column. Even a smaller column will probably even serve, but you know, that is why we call it a design. So which is going to be a little bit smaller, and I'm going to make this a circular column rather instead of a square column. So I'll make this let's say 300 size of column, or I can make it 250 size of column rather. So it's design. When you do your design, you can probably make sure you play around with whatever you are going to be using. Okay, so I'm going to insert this column here, and I will insert another column here. I'm not sure this is correct. Okay, I have this, I'm supposed to have this set and also this set. So there is a mistake in my grids. So I'm supposed to have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 grids. Okay, so I have 1 2 3 4 5 6, so which is definitely not correct. I'm going to delete all of these columns. Okay, here now the length is 4 meters. I'm going to use another offset of f2 4 meters, f2 16. Okay, so similarly for here too, I'll go this way, f2 minus 4 meters, f2 minus 16. All right, so this is what I'm going to be having here, and this is what I want. So I can now insert my columns. Okay, I'll come back to my column here, which is also at 250. It's still at 250. It's not, that's not changed. So I'm at story 1. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, 9 10. This is a mistake. Delete it. So now I have my columns. Now it's important that you always create 2 views. Make one a plan view, make the other one a 3D view, and then always try to have 2 verticals so that you can see whatever you are modeling in real life. So you can see it in 3D, and you are viewing it as you are doing it in your 2D view as well. So at this level now, I'm done with this level. I can switch now to my level 2. So at this point I'm going to also insert my column, and at this point of let me change it to 300. Okay, so you as the engineer, you can just probably use your discretion to select the cross section of each structural member that you feel will be able to pass. Okay, although you are going to run an analysis, do the design, if any of the cross section fails, you probably have to change the cross section, or you may probably need to change the reinforcement and all of that. So that's just all it has to do with design. Okay, so now I have this. Okay, okay, nice. So here, let's come to my story 3, and I'll switch to story 3. Now at this story, I'm going to have a column here, have one here, have here, have here, and have here. So here, this is going up to 6 meters. Let me try 400 and let's see. Okay, nice. Now you can see this column is actually floating, it's not actually to this level. So what I will do here now is to highlight all of this column. So by simply highlighting it, I will right click and I will go to the properties, and I will come to my lane here and I will change this to 3. So if I type in 3, it will go to the ground level. Okay, nice. So I have this, but this, I'm not sure this is also at the right level. It's not in the. Okay, so I'm also going to take this to the right story, and I'll come to my property and I'll link it to 2. Okay, so you can see it has come down as well. So this one now I can insert. Okay, let me try to highlight all this column and see, and I'll come to property and I will come to my, I want to insert a drop panel for all of this. Let me see what I'm going to have. So I have to check all of this. The columns are much, okay, so okay, nice. So here now, drop, and I'll make this drop to be 700. Although I may change the one for this to the one anyway. Doesn't have to be that high. But for now, let me make it general though, and let's see, center 350, drop here, $700, center 350, and then the depth of this drop panel, I'm going to make it 700 as well. Okay, so let's see. Nice, you can see it has taken effect. So but I don't like what I did here. I'm going to select this column, this one on the ground floor, and I'm going to change this drop. I don't really like what is here. It's too much. I'll come to the property here, and I will change this to let's say 400, 200. That's to centralize it. Okay, that's just what I'm doing. This is 400. I'll make this 200. And then here I'll make it 400 as well. Okay, so nice, you can see I have reduced it. So I can go further to also probably reduce this one, you know, because there will be no need for this to also be as high as the other one. Or let me just leave it for let me leave it. Okay, so nice. All right, but this particular, okay, this is 400, this is 300, then this is 250. Okay, the next thing I will do here now, I can just insert a slab and design this as a flat slab, or I can introduce a beam. So let's say I'm introducing a beam here. If I introduce a beam, beam, I'll make this 300 by 600. So it's important, as you are modeling, you are also seeing it in 3D, okay, so that you know whether what you are doing is really making sense or not. Okay, I can insert a beam here, I can have another beam here. Let me introduce a beam here and have another one here. Okay, nice. Then Okay, then I will introduce a beam here. Okay, 300 by the depth of 600. Let me have a beam here. Let me also have another beam here. I have a beam here. Also have another beam here. Okay. I have a beam here. I have another beam here. All right, so let's come down to my story 2. I will have beam of 300 by 600, and then maybe I should even probably make this beam smaller. I can make this beam a little bit smaller than what I have. Height 450, width similarly for this. Okay, similarly for this, and then I insert so it's important you are seeing what you are doing in 3D, so that you don't mess up the whole thing. All right. Okay, great. If you're able to get to this point, congratulations. So let's come to story 1. Okay. Here I'll also insert another beam. This time around I'm going to make this beam smaller. The depth. Okay. this being a bit smaller. Let me just make it smaller. Minus 31. Okay. Nice. So at this level, the next thing I'm going to do is to use my plane definition. I'll insert my slab first. So let's come to my slab, come to my loading, yes, load cases, okay, click on OK. So when we come to the design proper, I'm going to be using the necessary loading, okay. So but for now, let's just pick this ones, because that's the so let's go to story 2. Alright, so here let me change this to 250. Okay, then we'll go to story 3. Make it 300 and okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is to use my plane definition. So I'm going to use the plane definition, okay. Alright, so you can have this, you have your cars plying this road like this, like this, like this, and then you have the bridge above it. Okay, so let's use our plane definition right away. So I'll come to my plane definition and I'll insert a plane. I'll come back to plane. That didn't go well, so plane definition, plane definition, plane, plane, and I will double click on my plane, and I'll insert a point, specify all my necessary points, so I want point 1 to be minus, you know the height is 3 meters, so I'm going to make it minus 3,300. okay, and I'll make this also minus 3,300. okay, and I'll update, and I'll move member to a plane. Nice. So let's rotate this. Let's see what we have. Okay, great. So similarly, I'm going to do for these other ones as well. If you already love what you are seeing, why not just like this video? Make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Okay, subscribe to this channel. It's actually 100% free. Click on the bell icon so as for you to get a notification whenever I post videos. I post videos like this on a weekly basis, sometimes on a daily, just to encourage as many that actually want to have a deeper insight in design. Okay, and then I'll update, and then I'll move to plane. Nice. So the same way for this, I will double click, and then I'll pick my point. I want this to be point 1, I want this to be point 2, and I want this to be point 3. Then my point 1 will go minus 3,300, my point 2 also go minus 3,300, because that is what I want. You just have to tell the software what you want, and it will give you exactly what you are looking for. So similarly for this, I'll double click, and I'll specify my point, and I'll pick point 2 and I'll place it here. I pick point 3 and I place it here. Then my point 1, I'll make it minus 3,300, point 2 minus 3,300, and I will update. Then I'll move to plane. Alright, then I'll go to my story 2. I'll plane definition, I'll make this a plane. I use a plane definition for this, make this a plane, and this as well. So my plane definition 1, I will double click on it, and I will specify my point 1, point 2, and point 3. Point 1 will be minus 3,300, point 2 will be minus 3,300, and I will update, and I'll move member to plane, and I will click on yes. So you can see it here, it has taken effect. I'll come to plane 2, I'll double click, and I'll pick all of my points. I'll make this point 1, make this point 2, and I'll make this point 3. And I'll type and I'll update, and then I'll move it to plane. Nice. So similarly for this, double click on this, 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3 minus 3,300 minus 3,300, and I'll update, and I'll move member to plane, and I'll click on yes. Point 4, pick my point 1, pick my point 2, and pick my point 3. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this plane here, I'll double click on it, and I'll specify my point and make this point 2, and I'll make this point 3. Okay, so go to minus 3,300 minus 3,300. Okay, I'll update, and I'll move member to plane, and I'll click on yes. Okay, so you can see what we have now. Yeah, so there I can also have like a little slab here where the pedestrian can actually match at first, so, and probably maybe slant it a bit. So to do that, I have to go to my story 1, and I'll navigate to story 1, and I'll offset this, and I'll make it set, and I'll make it 1,000. Sorry, I'm supposed to go minus 1,000, F2 minus 1,000, and similarly for this, I'll go offset F2 1,000. Okay, so I can just insert a slab, okay, let me just use this now. So you can take your time to increase the height, change the slab thickness, and all of that. Probably do all of those necessary settings that is required. Or let me just do it right here. So go to property, slab height. Here 1.5, what else? Life load, So if you're able to get to this point, congratulations. Okay, you can as well slope this. You can also slope all of them. Okay, so but this one now, you can see it's a little bit outside what it's supposed to have here, so you can re-edit it. I'm going to show you one example of what to do, so you can apply it similarly for, let's come to story 2. So on story 2, if I double click on this, and I can change this to 3,100, and I'll update and I'll move to plane. So you can see it has been adjusted. Okay, so you can play around with it, probably even reduce the sizes of these beams here at this level if it's too high. You can reduce the beam and all that. So but it depends on your design, what your design tells you, whether it fails or it passes. Okay, so and all that. So this is your model. As you can see what we have here, which is very okay. Alright, so the next thing here is to insert our, we can then insert our what they call it, railings. Okay, our handrails. Okay, for safety. So to insert your handrail, it's just for us to go along this line, have another one along this, have another one at the top here. Okay, so we can do that by simply coming to story 4. Come to story 4, you can just come to your column here and click on this, brings you to this property. You can select this and select the proper cross section for this. So let's say we want to try this cross section. I will click on OK, and so let me see what I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to have some here. Oh, that thing has gone off. Oh, just taking me back again. Okay, let me just impute this. Okay, I'm here. So you can see it's reflecting here, right? Okay, so we have been able to insert this successfully. Alright, so at this point all I need to do now is to take this one down to this level, take this one also down to this level. So in order for me to take this one down to this level, I will right click on it, sorry, I will highlight it, and I'll also highlight this since they are actually the same. So I'll come to my properties, it's not displaying the property.